Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspectives. Hopefully everybody's hearing me loud and clear out there. We are actually here in Dallas. The storms are pretty bad, so hopefully I don't lose any type of connection while we're doing this. But happy to be on. Y'all know what to do while you're out there. Hit that like button. We are starting up the college football roundtable tonight. Got Billy in the building representing LSU. The Tigers got BA here representing the Aggies of College Station. And of course, Brother Tran here holding it down with me, locking arms for them Longhorns. So excited to rap with y'all and everything. I already see the jokes and the banter in the comment section. Make sure as you guys are chiming in, you hit that like button as well. Also want to give a special thank you to our sponsor, BUSR, BUSR.com/fanatic. Go check that out. Dallas and Phoenix game 2. Tran just put in some money on Luka, player prop bets. Tran's been hammering that and hockey hard. So, we're after it. We're after it. But appreciate everybody on here. Y'all already know what it is. I see Karen. Everybody in here just rapping. What's up, Queenie? Queenie, we had a great live yesterday on Twitter Spaces with Jonathan Brooks. Fantastic interview. A lot of fun in there. Y'all go check that out.
Hey, can I say something real quick? So we get the party started. Not to interrupt you, but old boy said, ask Billy and BA what happened to Watermeyer not getting drafted. I was just going to comment, Texas didn't have a player draft. So let's not discuss that. Let's not go there right now. All right, let's go.
Let's not go there. And then your boy Kieran tried to talk about us not being punctual when Billy and I know who were the punctual ones and who were not. So we'll keep that behind the scenes.
Yeah. All right, we're ready to go, baby.
All right, so we're just gonna start off with some heaters. Let's keep it going. Brandon, give me a rundown on why Evan Stewart's gonna have less than 30 catches next season.
Hey, that's how we started it off. All right, that's a bet. Well, here's the first thing. If you're saying that, you don't understand what Jimbo wants to do. Don't forget, Kellen Mond had basically 3,000 yard passing years his sophomore and junior season. Now, did he take a step back? For sure. And if you want to try to compare Calzada, who left our program before the season even ended, to
you start with Kellen Mond, brother.
What?
You starting with Kellen Mond? Go ahead.
Hey, I'm talking about Jimbo's offense. You over here talking about how he's going to have less than 30 catches. He's already separated himself out. The dude can ball. He can run routes. He has great speed. I would be surprised if he's not pushing, 4,000 yards this season. I really would. Now, who's going to throw him the ball? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think, as far as the quarterback competition coming out of the spring, I think Haynes just being there, being involved for, I think it's his 3rd season now. He just understands the system better than Max Johnson or Connor Wigman. But I don't know. If it's up to me, I'm going to roll the dice on Max Johnson or Connor, simply because I just trust him better passing the ball. And I know Jimbo wants to pass, but whoever comes out of this competition and starts, I'm going to rock with him. Simply the competition itself in this spring was something we haven't had in quite some time. So, I mean, y'all don't understand that type of depth yet, especially on the D-line, which, that's another point of emphasis and strength that we have. But, yeah, man, coming out of the spring, I think the confidence is there. Defense, we lost a lot of good talent. Offensive line, we lost a 1st-round draft pick. I'm sure y'all know how that. Wait, no, you don't. You don't know how that feels. My bad. We lost the top 15 pick there, so we returned 2 freshmen, all Americans. Like, we'll be good there. But yeah, I'm curious to see how it all plays out in the fall. Who comes out as QB1 after camp? And man, I'm ready for this season. I'm ready to rock.
Billy, do you want to talk about Max Johnson? Because that was your guy.
I still like Max. I mean, I think it's a good system for him, right? I mean, I do believe that going to Jimbo is a good fit. I mean, I think he played pretty damn well considering what we were dealing with as we were unorganized. I mean, it was bad, okay? And he still did damn well considering where we were. It's up to him. He can make some plays. He holds onto the ball too long at times in the pocket. just we'll see the growth and where it hits.
They said Jimbo out here lying to these boys. Eli Stowers in the tight end room. We seen it, Brandon.
Hey, he's back in the QB room now. His shoulder's better.
He is. He is.
I don't think he's going to
stay
play
in the
there.
QB room. After he,
That
after
QB
he had,
room is tough. We haven't had a QB room like this since Jimbo arrived. So it's a tough little room. I mean, you got the experience with Max Johnson. You got the just raw talent with Connor. Haynes being, one of the top athletes on the team, one of the top 3 fastest guys in the program. Like, there's talent back there.
Okay, let me ask you this, and then we can go to Billy, unless you have any other tidbits for us regarding A&M. What are you really excited about, and what are you really concerned about with your football team? Real rap.
Oh, man. What am I excited about? All the young talent. I mean, defensive line, secondary. I'm excited to see who's going to be an early contributor, who's
Amazing
not.
recruiting class. Amazing.
What's that?
It's an amazing recruiting class.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we haven't seen a recruiting class like this before. And, who's to say when the next time we'll see it again? But that's what I'm excited about. What am I fearful of? How does the offense look? I mean, we don't have a good sample of what any of these quarterbacks can do. Connor was a great high school quarterback. Things changed in the SEC. Max had a decent year at LSU. I mean, he led a game-winning drive against us. I mean, hey, that's a nice quarterback to have. Haynes King, What's that?
I think it's important to know that Butte was out like the last 7 games of the year.
Right. I mean, Max was slinging the rock against us, and he's not the most fleet of foot athlete, but he's smart. He knows when to take off and run. He knows how to keep the chains moving. Things that I think
he was running around
important.
like a madman in the spring game, Max.
Hey, he tripped over himself in the spring game too, so we're just gonna let that go.
He's pretty big and fast, honestly. I mean, he don't need to be running like that, but he's fast.
I mean, he's no Haynes King.
Running like he was running away from the police in that game. I mean, my God, there seemed to be something else going on out there. I don't
D-line was in the backfield. That's probably what it was. They've been good at D-line for 2-3 years now.
We're still, we lost Peavy, we lost Leal, we lost Clemens, Tyree. Like, we lost a lot of players on the defensive line, but as far as our defense goes, that will not be a place that I'm concerned. It's that's one position that we can truly reload. So I'm excited to see what the young guys do there. Tunisi Adele, there we go. Goodness gracious. He had a really good spring. I mean, in the spring game, I saw him in the backfield almost every other play, it seemed. Once you get the young guys in, Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, as well as all the 5-star prospects we have that are on campus now. And once we get them in rotation as well, I mean, it could just be a death by numbers. Like, we'll just keep throwing D-line at you because all these guys have talent. All of them can play. So I'm excited about that. Offensive QB is a concern. We'll see how. I mean, too many unknowns. I mean, I want to clown with the Jimbo offense, and hey, do your thing. I mean, that's fine. We'll see. We'll see how this is come November if we're still having the same conversation.
That's the beautiful part about it, baby. We play the game.
Exactly.
So last thing on A&M, and then we'll move over to Billy. I believe right now, shout out to BUSR, BUSR.com, official sponsors, official sportsbook, official betting partner, Fanatic Perspective. Actually, it's not on BUSR yet, but it will be this summer. Win totals. I think right now Vegas has y'all at 9, possibly. Are we going over? It's either 9 or 9.5. Are we going over 9 wins?
I mean,
at 9 wins, or is this another 8-5 season?
Hey, a
lot of people taking the under on the 9. Statement. That's all I'm asking.
I'm giving 9. I would love to have a 10-win regular season, but I'm giving 9 for sure. That's how confident I am in this team. If I knew a better idea of who would be the quarterback, that might sway a thing or two, but having that being a huge unknown, in my personal opinion, I think 9 wins is definitely – we have the talented roster to do that, offensively and defensively. So, yeah, I think 9 wins is a good standard. If we're there, that's a good year. If we're less than that, then it's a disappointment.
Billy, Tran, did you have anything you wanted to touch on?
No, I just want to be careful about the offense thing because Evan Stewart he's a fantastic prospect, but you might run into the same thing that we ran into with Xavier Worthy. After Xavier Worthy, who's going to be the other? And that's something that could make defenses key in on that and make your offense stall, especially once you get deep into conference play. So, I'm with you. Your defensive line is stacked, so you shouldn't have anything to worry about reloading from the defensive perspective. But yeah, I would. I'll. You need to hold off on everything right now. for that.
I wouldn't disagree with you that I don't know who's going to step up behind Evan Stewart, but we still got Moose Muhammad. He had a pretty good end of the year. Nia Smith is still going to be working the slot as well as some out the backfield. So we're definitely going to have weapons. Who's the tight end to step up? I don't know. I don't know who's the tight end to step up. We have 3 amazing prospects at that position. So you're right, and it's unknown who's going to be that next person up, but I think we have a lot of depth there as long as we remain healthy, that someone should be able to step up and be able to ball.
Chris Marshall, speaking of receivers, Chris Marshall going to play for y'all this year, or are y'all going to do the Demas thing with him and hide him away until –
I mean, as we saw with Demas –
That's not fair. Demas hid himself away.
I wish Demas the best of luck. But we saw just with everything that transpired there, hey, he wasn't a good fit for our program. Amazing talent, absolutely amazing talent. Same with Chris Marshall, same with Noah Thomas. Like all these guys come in and are amazing talents. When you got 6'4" receivers who can run sub 4.5, I mean that's talent. Who can leap as well, like that's talent. So I mean they're unknown.
I want to see
Marshall
these young boys on the field, man.
What's that?
I said I want to see these young boys on the field, especially as these guys were creme de la creme recruits. These aren't. Yeah, I mean, you had guys
sub 4.5. You're saying it's like I'm not saying you're lying, but I'm saying their coaches are lying.
Noah Thomas for sure. Noah Thomas is sub 4.5. Chris Marshall might be on that 4.6.
I think Marshall's is legit. Marshall can run. It just he's raw as a technician.
He's raw as a football player.
Yeah, he's really raw, but I mean that's a guy that everybody was after too. So. I'm just, all right. So you're at 9-3. You got yourself at 9-3 for the Aggies.
9 wins.
How you feeling right now? Cool.
Oh yeah, I'm confident in 9 wins. I would love to have 10, but I'm very confident in 9 wins.
Cool. No, I respect it. Billy, what's up, my friend?
How we doing?
I know you've been waiting. You've been waiting to talk LSU, man. What's up with them Tigers? You like Brian Kelly or what?
Yeah. Absolutely. We needed some organization. I mean, it was bad, bro. I mean, we won the national title in 19, and everybody just said, we're good, dude. We're good for 3 years. Don't go to work anymore. Anyway, so, yeah, I mean, yeah, I got some individuals I know pretty well within that, system, organization, whatever, recruiting, and they, the whole model has changed, accountability. You got a job to do. This is, hey, we're building you as a student, we're building you as a human, and we're going to build you as a professional. And so, that's a relief. Let's just say that, okay? That's the start. So I'm excited about that. We also put some pieces together late in the recruiting cycle, which I was very pleased with. Get a new coach, you keep your tackle and the quarterback, and then you grab the linebacker. That's 3 5-stars. I mean, so that's you need pieces, right? And you got to continue to get the pieces. And we didn't get the full, high school recruiting class, but in today's world, with transfers, we loaded up there too. A lot of pieces that fit, hopefully, right? We don't know until they play, but we address needs. Secondary, we grabbed a couple Arkansas boys. We grabbed the Oklahoma State corner. That was all Big 12. And then on the D-line, we grabbed a D lineman from Missouri that was second team all SEC. So and then some offensive linemen that we added. And, we got the running back for Penn State coming in, kind of see what he can do. But it looks like so we're in a good spot, I think, right? Obviously, we're in the same situation as A&M. We got a quarterback room with a lot of people. It looks like it's up for grabs between all 3 of them.
Billy, we got a super chat here from Chili, who seems to be an LSU fan. So you got a fellow Tiger here in the chat.
Go Tigers.
He said 6-6 year with 10 draft picks. Bad coaching cost LSU.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? And I was going to get into that. I saw that earlier in the chat. You know, you go 6-6 and you got 10 people drafted. Like that just goes to what I was saying about just how after 2019 it was just like later. You know, we're good, and that's just not how it works. And so it just kind of proves what LSU is, right? There's talent, we develop it. It's just it's going to be there. It is. It's not changing in the next 3 or 4 years. So. Coaching staff brought in some. I was impressed in what we did there, and so I think we're in a good place. You know, moving forward, I think we got a lot of good pieces in place, and it's good to see that we changed quickly and we hired a proven coach, obviously, and so here we go.
So Jonathan made a comment about y'all's schedule.
I saw that.
Do you want to chime in on this?
Hey, we're not running from the schedule. It's a tough schedule. I mean, App State, we all know what they did to Michigan, so that's no pushover. Miami, they're supposed to be. I mean, they're rebounding, but rebuilding whatever they're doing down there. But you know, there's always one of those teams where if you don't show up, they can easily beat you. I mean, it's the SEC for a reason. You know, hey, we lost to Mississippi State last year, and as I told y'all, I was at ACL. I didn't think we were going to lose that game. I wasn't even paying attention. I get home, I'm like, wait, we lost? What? But that's what can happen in the SEC. I mean, we're here for it. Iron sharpens iron. So we want to play. We want everyone's the best. We want to play the best. I mean,
Kieran thinks that you guys are going to beat Miami because he doesn't like Mario Cristobal and he calls him Cuban Tom Herman.
I feel like that's got some recruiting ties linked to that dislike. Some disdain there for sure.
Yeah. Billy, the quarterback situation for you guys, very interesting because young Garrett Nussmeier looked really, really good. And possibly, you know, with the scheme change and him being a young guy, looked like he possibly was ahead of schedule. You bring in the transfer and Jaden Daniels from Arizona State, who was incredible early at Arizona State and then kind of tapered off. And then you got the elder statesman in the room, Miles Brennan. And then I think you told me Walker Howard is going to be recovering. So with that cast of characters in the quarterback room, quarterback is essential to what BK does. And BK always looks to get good, responsible QB play. What's your take there?
So I think we're going to play 2 quarterbacks. Okay. I think that's what I'm getting that feel. I think we're going to have a package for Daniels. And if you know about Brian Kelly, he is not afraid to play 2 quarterbacks or move quarterbacks in or out. They're not getting it done. Now, could it be Miles Brennan? Yes. Could it be Nussmeier? Yes. Could it be Daniels as the full starter? Yes. They all have experience. Even Nussmeier got a start and got reps. And then Miles Brennan, you know, I would just look at the upside. If they're all even, look at the upside. One's a sophomore or whatever, redshirt freshman. He is a gunslinger. I'll tell you that. From what I know and practice and film, and you know, he'll sling it. And I kind of like that, right? And if you can control, you know, the turnovers with slinging it, you'll make some plays in college for sure. Miles Brennan played those games, huge numbers, but we lost to Mississippi State and we lost to Missouri, even in those games, which is, you know, obviously the team was in turmoil, but still it's part of whatever. And then Daniels comes in, you know, what I hear, he's a little at times inaccurate, but then sometimes it's like a quarter he can't be stopped. So it's like his inconsistency. Can they bridge that gap with him? But they like his legs. And so it's a package. They might, you know, he might run a couple series a game. And if he takes it over, or, you know, if it doesn't, whatever, sounds like it's up in the air. How about that? So I don't know where to go. It's a tough decision, I would think, obviously. So I don't have a clue right now. What I would do if he's better, though, he's got to be better, is go with Nussmeier. But he has to be better or as good. Okay, that would be my stipulation. Like if I'm viewing and I'm evaluating, it's like he has to be as good. If he's as good, then I like that. I like the upside that can go with it. If he's not, well, then that's different. So I think it's 2 quarterbacks.
Orlando said if you got 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can tell that too. Tebow.
Florida. Yeah, Florida and Chris Leak.
That's what I was thinking about was Chris
Florida,
Leak and Tebow. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too
And
when I read that.
and it's not because they're playing because they're not productive, right? It's 2 different things. Sometimes, most of the time, you're playing 2 quarterbacks because neither of them are getting it done. But if you're running, you got a scheme for 2 quarterbacks and it's productive, there is something to that. So I don't know. We'll see. I agree overall with that concept, 1,000%. If you got 2, you usually don't have 1. I get it. But put it in the coach's hands and see where we're at.
Billy, expectations. I don't know if you want to address Elvin's question here about the Arkansas guys. You seem to be throwing some shade at Arkansas too in here. Slight some baby shade at Arkansas in here.
Well, go find out who they are, look them up, and come back in and let's talk about them once you know who they are first. If you don't know who they are, you can't get at the table yet. No, one of them's gonna start. Yeah, Fouché or whatever. We got that. I mean, he had like 10 turnovers last year or something for Arkansas. So he's kind of gonna play that hybrid linebacker, I think, safety role, whatnot. So we'll see. And then the Oklahoma State dude with the 2 last names, he's from New Orleans, so he came back, which is huge to add in there. And then we'll see. You got Sage Ryan, you got the Tolan. Those guys develop, and then Major Burns, if he can stay healthy, he's one of our secondary guys that when he did play, he actually hit people, and that's kind of what was going on. We were a little soft in the secondary. He would hit people. He got hurt. We played all right later, but that's what needs to happen. I think that'll change just because of the whole situation.
So let me ask this, and then I want to get to y'all's thoughts, from the spring game for Texas, since we were all there. And then we'll get to our broader college football Wild West discussion, because I know a lot of people everybody has thoughts on NIL. Billy, same question I asked to BA. Expectations for you guys. I don't have your win-loss over under. My guess would probably be 7 or 8 for you. For Brian Kelly's first year, what's reasonable for you as a fan where you feel like you guys are heading in the right direction?
I would think 8-4. I mean, I think that today, that's what it tells me. I think that that's a fair number to say. I don't see why we can't win 8 games. I do believe our defensive line is going to be really, really good. And so that makes me excited. And if you put that pressure on, you know how it is. You control the line of scrimmage. I mean, it makes your whole defense better. So that's good. The O-line, we got some pieces that came in. It's just really, do we run the ball? It's the same concern as last year. Ty Davis-Price, he got hot late. Once they finally.
Yeah, he got drafted too.
Well, yeah, because he was good. Yeah. He was good. He was but we finally were like, okay, we're using him on everything. We're screens, we're running them. He gets 20 touches, and guess what? He's banging yards. So, that's not going to be a concern with Brian Kelly to me. I know he's going to, he knows how to control that room. We got Frank Wilson back in the room. So that room will be, let's just say I believe we're going to be back to where there's like 3 or 4 backs in that room every year that's going to be drafted, when their time comes. So that's what I expect.
Billy, so Chili here, is Chili drinking some Kool-Aid down there in the bayou? Because he said 9-3 is reasonable, but real rap, we about to win 10 in year 1.
I mean, I'm with Chili. We might sneak out 10. I'm excited too. Okay? But I'm going to say 8-4. I do think that we can win 9, but today I think 8-4. I'm a real person, so but I could see easily winning 9. I would not be like wow. 10, I would be wow. But
I'm curious how you can say 10 right now in May when you have no idea who the quarterback or quarterbacks are.
Well,
I'm curious how you're getting to this number.
Chili's just excited because we got the last 2 years been tough, bro. They've been tough because you could just see the dysfunction. I mean, it was bad.
My boy
I know
Trey
what you
is
know
in
about that
here.
purple.
Yeah, my boy Trey is in here. Y'all go check out the video I did with Trey Moore this weekend on O'Shawn Mathis. Trey representing TCU, so he knows about that purple drink as well. JR, hey, JR been getting on you in here, Billy. He said Kool-Aid extra sugar.
I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana, bro. My mom got Kool-Aid in the fridge all summer long. All summer. Fruit punch and lemonade and sweet tea. Bet.
All right. So we got 9
Still today.
9-3. 9-3 for BA, for A&M. Billy's at 8-4. Tran, I'm gonna pass it over to you because I don't think the people have heard from you post spring about Texas. And I know BA and Billy are ready to pounce on whatever you have to say because they were sitting next to you at the game. But Tran, it's your time. The floor is yours to address the Texas Longhorns.
I mean, what I've already talked about this. Like honestly, that I didn't expect much from the spring game. It's a spring game. Yeah, I just wanted to see how the body language. I'm a big body language guy. You know that. It seemed like a lot of people were having fun. I was like, I had to ask Billy a couple times. Like, what the hell are we doing with this 90 play? Like, is this really 90 plays? Like we kicked it off 16 times and that counts. But no, I mean, there's a lot of people like. Billy pointed out, I think it was the kid from Hutto that's in the portal now. He was always open. Like he ran great crisp routes, but he just couldn't catch the ball. This is like he didn't have really strong hands. We saw the arm talent with Quinn. You know, that was the biggest thing. One of the biggest things that people wanted to see was Quinn versus Hudson. I think Hudson had a better all around spring game than Quinn. With that said, I still think that they're going with Quinn, especially after the Players Tribune thing came out, and you know him stepping up as a leader and talking about that, and you know it sells to other recruits and transfer people that transfer talent that hey, you come here, you're gonna play. We're playing the people that we want on here, and you know. I still think if it's razor thin, you still have to go with the young talent and deal with the bumps and bruises. I really do love our wide receiver class that we have there. You know, I hope Whittington could stay healthy. Jatavion Sanders really looked good, except for the fact that he got stripped at the goal line, and I'm really upset that they took away that strip from was it Jade Barron or was it Jaron Thompson?
It was Jaron Thompson.
Jaron Thompson, yeah, he that was a strip, and he hopefully he learns from that from just the video. But you know, if we're talking about the line, you can't really judge the line for what it is because it was a makeshift offensive line, and you know the defensive line did what they were supposed to do. They dominated a not full offensive line group. So you know it is what it is. You know, like if you had to put a gun to my head and ask me like the win-loss record, like what you did with Billy and BA, I mean honestly, eight wins. I could see. That's it.
So you're 8-4.
Yeah,
that's fine. I like how you got out ahead of it before anybody else got to ask you.
Yeah,
you just put it down right away. Yeah. Now eventually this will segue us into the NIL stuff because it's been craziness going on. We're not, you know, we've been talking about a lot in the Twitter spaces, guys getting poached, tampering, all those type of things. We're going to jump into that in a few minutes. BA, Billy, thoughts on Texas from what you guys saw from the outside looking in?
I'll let Billy go first.
Listen, I don't want y'all to fall victim to a Chris Sims major Applewhite scenario, boys. So be careful with the ears getting this stuff and that stuff. Y'all better just play the best player. That's what I would – and I get it, whatever. But, like, if Hudson Carr is the best player, he better be playing for your team. Like, it's a critical moment because you got 2 more years with whoever this quarterback is. If it's one of whoever it is, it doesn't matter. If it's Quinn Ewers, we roll with him. but they better be the better one. And if they're not, even if they play initially and they're not, you cannot be, and the competition is close, obviously. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger and get the other dude in the game. And I don't think Sark will, which I do think is a good thing, because that's important. I think I saw one of the guys over here talking about the lines. I think the O lines and the D lines, that's going to dictate the future of the program. Like if you're going to get to that 10, 11, 12 wins consistently. Wasn't much of a spring game. Hard to really see. It was fun.
Yeah, it was more of a scrimmage.
Right. You got to build. Just build. If you're not built, if you don't see progression this year, then there's got to be concern, just in general. And the focus should be, all right, we better be better than last year, and by a little bit, right? Obviously. So that's what I would look at.
I mean, let's be real. They set a low bar if we're just going to go off improving from last year. Beat Kansas. That's an improvement from last year. But, I'm actually with Tran, the fact that when I was there watching the game, as far as a quarterback, that to me right now, I think Hudson Card had a better showing. But I agree. Going to rock with yours. He has arm talent. The one throw that I saw where he didn't have happy feet is when he put it right on the, dropped it right in the basket to Isaiah, and they're on the deep ball. Beautiful ball. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better pass with that. But he also had a terrible pick. Just threw it straight to who was it? Cook, I believe. I mean, it didn't even move. He threw it right to him. So if that's what you want to live and die with, I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if he's going to be the quarterback of the future. But as far as just the initial showing, Hudson has a little bit of an advantage at this point. But again, I don't think he's going to be the starter come day one. The offensive line, defensive line, I think the defensive line actually played pretty dang good in my opinion. Now, it's skewed because we all know the troubles you've had on the offensive line. But just looking at the size of those guys, like they're a pretty good bunch. Now, do you have the depth that you probably will need for the entire season? I don't know. Losing out on Mathis to me was a hit, but I don't weigh that as high as everyone else did. I still think you have talent, especially when you look at Tapp, Finkley, like the young guys you have. So they showed out. They showed me something. They showed me that, hey, they have talent. Just, now let's see how this coaching staff can develop. In the glorified scrimmage, which we witnessed, I mean, I definitely see some optimism. I see you guys definitely as a top 5 offense, maybe even the top offense. Like, you just got so many weapons. Sark knows what he's doing there. If Ewers doesn't have the growing pains that we've seen from recent, quarterbacks in that situation, got to remember, this guy hasn't played at this level, hell, 2 years, 3 years since he was technically a junior in high school. So, I mean, there's a big curve there.
JR said, son, give it backhanded compliment.
I see that too.
Oh, man.
Hey, it's a compliment. Take it or leave it.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm not worried about our offense, to be honest with you. I mean, outside the offensive line.
Didn't we have a top 20 offense last year?
We did.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not worried about that at all either.
Kieran's thinks he's gonna break all Colts records year one. 4K. We've never had a 4K passer. 40 touchdowns. So
that
4K for sure.
4K and 40?
40's the number that's throwing me off.
4K.
Yeah, I don't know about the 40, but I can definitely see 4K.
30 would be a good number to be at.
Yes.
So I know the logic right now is because the question is how you're getting to 40 touchdowns, right? So last year between Casey Thompson and Hudson Card, they combined for 29 in Sark's offense. And that was with all of the BS going on and really the last game where Roshan Johnson was just running around all over the place too. So theoretically, now Quinn would have to play pretty much the whole time, not deal with injury, not deal with poor play or anything like that. He would have to be pretty steady to hit that number. But you know, I don't think he's going to hit 40 touchdowns. But when you start to think about it over 12 games, you know, in the way college football is working today, it's interesting.
3,530 touchdowns, and y'all going to be
But-
very, very happy.
We do also have to factor in our offense that a lot of it's
run
going
the
to be we're predicated
Exactly.
off of the dogs that we
got
have.
two
been
running
on the
backs,
field.
best players on the team.
40 touchdowns, you're taking away touches from Bijan and Rojo, and I don't think that's going to happen. Sark's already admitted he wants to run the ball. That's what
Hey,
he
don't
wants to
forget
do.
about Jonathan Brooks too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
He
I'm the
looked
one that's
good.
been
He
high on
looked good.
Jonathan Brooks for a while for you guys.
Just
Shout out
run
to Jonathan
Roshan and
Brooks.
run your brother boy, and y'all are going to win a lot of games, in my opinion. Just get them the ball in space, period. Swing passes. I don't care. And they did that. I saw in the scrimmage they were running that. They were doing those a lot. So I like to see that early with those two boys. They need the ball in space because they make plays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texas win-loss success to me, because there were times where our offense was hitting it, especially when Bijan was healthy last year. We had, you know, we were able to run whatever we could run, right? If we can run outside zone consistently, we could do that. If we, you know, eventually I think we'll get to a point where we're able to run inside zone and really hammer people and then do our RPO behind it, because that's when Sark's offense is at its best. But I personally think the win-loss stuff comes down to the defense.
Oh, yeah.
What am I getting from them? How much improvement will we see from Pete Kwiatkowski's group in year 2? That O'Shawn Mathis recruitment was an L for us. I'm not, you know, it's not sugarcoating anything or hiding from anything. Now we got to regroup. Somebody asked about Land in the chat. Land from FAMU, the Isaiah Land, the pass rusher that is in the portal. He's 215 pounds. And when you go through his film against some of the FBS stuff, that's a significant struggle for him. We don't play anybody that small on our defense, really. But he's had 19 and a half sacks and was FCS Defensive Player of the Year and as a dog. So we welcome those. Could I see him helping us as a situational pass rusher? Absolutely. But we also got to look at the fact that there's a very real possibility that they could be more of a 3-3-5 type look to get the bigger boys on the field to at least help with that run, and then just figure out the edge stuff and as these guys mature and go along. But you know, the defense is going to help with that measurement.
If you got a spot, you know that you know a pass rusher is a weakness. I mean, it's worth a chance, I would think.
No, it is. It's something that needs to be looked at.
Right.
Put it that way.
For
It needs
sure.
to be looked at.
I mean, 19
Also,
and a half
hopefully-
sacks, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot, dude.
But you can also scheme up pressure too. So if you don't, how does PK and that defensive staff adjust to possibly scheme up pressure? Bringing overload blitzes, dropping some, you know, people left in maybe into the flat, something like that, bringing 4 from one side. Like there's ways to cultivate pressure. But, you know, I'm with you, Steve. Can you guys stop the run? That hurt you last year.
Yeah. So Mike's point, because I want to get to the NIL stuff. That's going to be the next thing we talk about. Mike's point here about we're going to roll with Sorrell and Finkley. They're going to play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. Ovi's really going to be our buck of more of that hybrid, you know, type linebacker that has drops. But my question is, what is a reasonable snap count for those guys where they can play good football? They don't hurt you because they're going to make mistakes on the film. You know, as we dive into it, you know, there was plays where, you know, Finkley's young, you know, he kind of goes inside leverage when he's supposed to be outside and seal the edge. Little things like that can hurt you on a 3rd and 8 when a quarterback breaks contain, right? So understanding your assignment, understanding when you have edge help or edge leverage and when you don't, and when you can attack that inside shoulder versus keeping your outside shoulder free. Those are little things and little details that make or break your defense at times that the average fan doesn't see. The coaches have to protect against that, though. So they may say, we got a lot of big boys in this room that are ready to eat, that are athletic. Byron Murphy, Devondre Sweat, Alfred Collins. We may have to go bigger and force people to throw, and we're gonna take away run. Kind of like mid 2010 Bama, when Bama had more big boys up front, and then they just put speed behind
we had
it.
to. We used to have them big, like Danielle Hunter and all. I mean,
Big, just big across the board.
6'5", like 280, 290, but they were athletic as hell, and you could still control a line of scrimmage and get sacks.
Lone Star Prep. Sanders is our tight end, baby.
Yeah, he's starting tight end.
He's developed very well. He also Queenie had Sanders on. We actually got to talk to Jatavian the week before, and he's been very, very big about saying he envisions himself as an offensive football player. That's how he sees himself. So we got to stop asking about the defense stuff, especially with the way he's come on. He's embraced the blocking element at tight end, which I think is another thing why the coaches have trusted him with the snaps, but it's a development process. Guys, let's transition into the NIL stuff because I want to be respectful of everybody's time.
Yep. Actually, ZS has a pretty good comment to start it off with for a good transition.
Who?
ZS.
Oh, yeah, that's actually exactly where I was going.
So, can I touch on that?
Please jump in.
I was not scared when I heard that he was considering the portal. I think he was using it as leverage to get more money. I personally do.
1,000%.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to go anywhere. I think he knew he was he's the main guy at wide receiver right now at Texas. He saw that hey, this place is going to offer me money. Let's see what I can get out of it. It's kind of like what you do in your job too. You go flirt with another company just to see if you can get a raise at your current company. So I mean, I wasn't really worried about that, but it is going to start becoming a huge problem, and you're going to start seeing this a lot throughout all of college football. And I mean, Billy, to your credit, you called this out when this was announced right away. That was the first thing you said in our group chat. So I'll pass it on to you because, like I said, you were the first one to call this out beforehand.
I mean, look, if you don't, you have to have structure in anything. Like anything needs some type of structure, okay? And when it's a freelance, like there's no regulations, there's no rule, there's nothing. It's just like just go, you do whatever you want. And like I understand that, like we live in a place in an environment, but everything is still restricted to a degree, right? Okay, there still is and it becomes a free for all, and and then now you got people in these kids' ears. They're recruiting them at like 14, 15 years old. They're bag men who. A lot of times you can't trust these people. They want their licks, okay? And so they're also giving bad advice. And so now we're setting the kids up for failure. And I'm like, man, this, like, to me, that's not what's supposed to be going on. We're supposed to be building these men, into, in a lot of different ways. And we're chasing bags over 10, 20, 30, 40 grand at 18. And like, yeah, okay, that sounds like a lot of money, but like, it's really not in the grand scheme of things. And at that age, you don't understand that. And so here we are.
Oh, go ahead, BA.
We asked for this. I mean, we asked for NIL, and here it is. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take it in all its glory. I mean, you guys are definitely beneficiaries of it. Look at Quinn. He goes off to Ohio State, signs a big NIL deal, comes back to Texas. Isaiah Nayor, nobody even knows about him. Blows up big, sees an opportunity to play at Texas, comes to do it. I mean, it's the state of what we are. It's what we're going to be. The transfer portal, if things stay the way they are now, is going to be essentially free agency. And, hey, deep pockets win in free agency. So, I mean, this is what we asked for until it's regulated and, there's constraints. Maybe if you transfer, you have to sit out a year or something like that. I mean, hey, may the deepest pockets win, because right now we're figuring some things out. I ain't going to lie.
So
Brandon likes his pockets.
Hey, we roll deep with the pockets, bro.
Keep your hand out my pocket.
Yep.
Get your hand out my pocket. All seriousness though, I look at because honestly, a lot Billy's point about structure and the lack of structure is the truth, and everybody needs to hear and understand that. but the diagnosis of that or where that comes from is the NCAA. The NCAA has been trash as a governing body. It's been trash as a governing body across the board with college sports, with how they've handled things. They're one of the worst, weakest governing bodies we have. Probably, I don't know how people feel about the Olympics or, Brandon, how people feel about FIFA's governing body, and how corrupt and crazy these organizations are. It's a terrible, organization of accountability and all these type of things. And they've been so inconsistent over my lifetime with how they've handled all sorts of matters. They throw the hammer down on certain people and then they act like, they have a blindfold over their face in other situations. So,
boy, would I love to get a little deeper into that. No, I'll sit this one out.
But the monster that gets created, because I'm going to talk about 4 tiers of change in college football that I see, but the monster that gets created, whether with all of this, is these programs are like small countries. And in these countries, you have the coaching, forget the players for a second, but you have like the coaches, the administration, all the people at the school, and these boosters who are all of these people, the common denominator with them, whether it's the boosters, the admin, or the coaching staff, they're cutthroat. And they're cutthroat. That's how they got to where they got in their lives and their business and their success, whether it's oil and gas. They didn't get successful in oil and gas and certain things because they followed the rules and were kumbaya. And, I'm not saying everybody lacks integrity outright, but you look for slight edge. A lot of us here work in the tech space. You bend the rules with data. You bend the rules with innovation or taking somebody else's idea. It's a dog-eat-dog world. So you have all these people that have a very competitive mentality. These coaches have a very competitive mentality. Whoever it is funding the thing, they have a very competitive mentality. They don't like losing. So you mesh them all together to form their little country. There's going to be hostile takeovers all over the place for resources, for land, whatever. That's their mentality. And you have nobody overseeing it that has any balls to step in there and draw out real lines and have people fall into compliance. And so there is no compliance. And now we have this because we should have had guidelines and some sort of rollout or structure before, but all of it just happened at once, right? Transfer portal and NIL hit at once.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
With no structure. So I don't want to hear anybody blaming the kids. If I don't know about money, because this is a problem that predates us, however old anybody is in here, NCAA has always had a problem with structure. They've always had a problem with exploiting young men and their families. And this has always been an issue. It's just that now we're getting an inside look at everything that's going on. We see it front and center now. And so this whole integrity thing and all this, like, college football never been about that life. Let's keep it a buck. I'm just saying. So we can talk about all these different things, but the NCAA, I don't see how they survive this long term. They're just trying to hang on for their lives. They have no power. You can say you want to go after Lincoln Riley for tampering with a kid. If you don't have any outright proof, what are you going to do to Lincoln Riley? What's going to stop USC from doing it more and money whipping people? So, I mean, we got to be. I want to see what's up with the comments here. Is that what UT fans teach? Don't act with integrity. What are you talking about?
He doesn't know. I read that. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You didn't even. You that no. No, I mean, it's great points, right? Because and that's where I think if you go into controlling the transfer portal, okay, the time frame you can transfer, okay, however that works, right? Whether you say, hey, you get one transfer your entire career before I'd give you 2 years in college. You could transfer within the first 2 years to a school without sitting out. I think you're learning things fit. It's different. You might have moved away from home. Like I can understand those things because I think that that's just clear. It's like, hey, you can even be a good player and not like it. Okay. That I'm cool with. But we got to put some limits in there after that because now the tampering thing, right? It happens. Probably a lot of players are going to get it, or did get it, or still getting it because they're good. And the coach says, hey, look, you come here, we'll give you this, and you can play for us. Well, I mean, I would go too, right? So we got to put some structure there and set it up. And where if you do that, you got to sit out a year. Okay, we'll give you opportunity early. After that, you got to have some type of commitment. Okay, like period. There has to be some type of commitment. We can't nothing works without some type of commitment. I mean, I guess hell, I don't know at this point. The portal, NIL, everything. It's pretty funny actually. I mean, it's scary, funny, sad, all at the same time.
Elvin said, "Are you talking about Woods?"
That's good.
Everybody's got story. What's crazy too is that a lot of people say Texas took advantage
Of
other
Worthy?
schools, right? Yeah, like Texas took advantage of other schools for getting the players we got. I'm not gonna say you're right or wrong, whatever, right? Like it's funny, like Texas, we actually get hammered for not playing the game enough. But the moment we play any type of game, it's like Texas is cheating. So it's like, oh, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'd rather you go the other way.
I mean, hell, we've taken that seat from you, so we'll embrace the villain right now.
I mean, so are you guys a villain?
I don't think we are, but everyone's painting us as one. So if they want to paint us as one, albeit
Who's everyone?
media. I mean, some of the people in the tag were dropping bags, we're paying for players. I mean, hey. If you haven't seen that Jimbo's been building something here for years, you haven't been paying attention. He's been a top 4 recruiting class since he got there, with the exception of the year that he transitioned in. So having a class like this isn't a big surprise to those who pay attention. But if you're not paying attention, we're the villain.
Brandon, who hurt you? Calm down. No one in this chat has said that you're cheating.
It was some way back. You gotta scroll down.
I would say
someone else. I thought you were talking about us. I was like,
no. Hey, we keep it 100.
I tip my cap to you guys for you guys getting that pulling in that class. Whether it was using NIL money or building it from the ground up. I mean, hey, you played the game,
right?
So you played the game.
If you want to hate us for playing the game, I'm okay. I'm completely fine with it.
I will say this though: to be the villain. Under my thoughts, and it's just me. You're gonna have to win a little bit more to be the villain.
For sure.
Okay. And
look,
I like
this recruiting class. If we don't make a run in the college football playoffs, Jimbo shouldn't be there.
That should be the thumbnail. Steven's face right there.
No, Billy's telling this brother the truth with no chaser. I don't know if he's receiving it or not, but
no. Did you not hear me? I agreed with him.
Okay.
I 100% agreed. If we do not make a run in the CFP with this recruiting class, what are we doing? I mean, he's 100% right. You have to win. That's what we play the game for. Like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and.
I'm just saying, as of right now, I'm thinking on a national scope. I don't know how many people are like A&M's the bad guy in this movie.
I mean, that was what Josh.
I don't know if I look at y'all like that. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Brandon has a point. He's talking about the recruiting class and how many 5-stars they got, and in the area he's surrounded in Austin, where he lives, they are considered the villain to a degree. Yes, he is correct on that front. Now, to everyone, maybe not as that much, but yeah, initially there is people that were with the recruiting class and who they got. Yes, there was. But like I said, to be a villain, you got to win. So that's. But he was. They were scrutinized 1,000%.
Hey, we got to win. I'm with that, and I think we will.
I feel like Texas is the villain. I feel like.
We can't lose to Kansas to be a villain. Let's be real.
We've sucked, but here's the thing: when 11 different schools think that they're your rival, and everybody turns up to play you no matter what, who's really the villain here?
Hey,
when
y'all
people go out of their way to talk about you.
you're making your farewell parade. You're giving everyone their stimulus. That's why they want to show up and nail you a little bit,
Everybody getting a stimulus check, huh, B?
Man, we gave Arkansas a great stimulus check. We gave those people the time of their life.
Just wait until you're at the backdoor game like that with Bama or somebody. It's gonna be fun.
In terms of the 4 tiers that changed, I want to address this, and then we can talk pods and bounce. We're at 55 minutes here. So I've always looked at it as transfer portal, NIL, super conferences, and playoff expansion. Those are like the 4. There's other things in there, but like those are like the 4 big tenets. These two have happened like simultaneously, NIL and transfer portal. And I know, I want to kind of get everybody's takes on the conferences too, but I mean, at some point, I think for Texas in particular, because somebody brought this up earlier, if we were winning, would guys get poached? No. If we were winning and people were getting drafted, the thing is, it's not just the money, there's a pitch behind it. When people saw that nobody got drafted again from Texas, and they may or may not be playing the game as much as somebody else, and you look at what Casey Thompson said about Nebraska, blah, 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 they lose out on Sharp Mathis, that now opens us up to be a target from other schools to try to get our talent. Just like some of these other smaller schools that have, great players, they open themselves up to be a target and get poached. I don't see anybody hitting up Ohio State's rooms for their starters, for Jackson Smith and Jigba, for Travion Henderson. I don't hear those guys getting. Maybe it's happening behind the scenes, but these teams that people are good. I even saw somebody else say, "Hey, let's hit up Will Anderson, offer him $15 million," or Flo on Oregon. Let's offer him $10 million since Oregon feels like they want to come after people. And you also have these new regimes. Dan Lanning over at Oregon. He's trying to hit, right off the bat. Mario Cristobal at Miami, they got some new Coke money behind them. They trying to hit right off the bat. And so, they ain't playing anymore. Y'all laughing, but,
that ain't going to work in the long haul, though, dude. You can't continue to replace your room. Like, at the end of the day, the teams that win, and it's never going to change in sports, is like you got to have a foundation. You got to build it, period.
Right.
You can add pieces, of course, but like you have to have a foundation year in and year out, and it needs to be done like that. So when those dudes come in, they are like, "Hey, this is how we do it here." I mean, and Will Anderson,
nobody cares about Texas.
Will Anderson,
yeah, Anderson won't leave. But I saw a comment that says, with our recruiting class keeping them all 4 years. Honestly, I don't expect us to keep them all 4 years. Not with NIL the way it is now. And if you have that perspective with your team, you're playing yourself, because that's just not the landscape that we're in right now. Now, if you have an Alabama where it's like, hey, if you give us 3 years, we can give you a natty, because that's what they've been doing, it's a different conversation. But there's only one Alabama right now. So I don't expect, these players to be there for 4 years. What I do expect is that we're cultivating the talent that we are doing, that we are, maintaining and producing the winning product on the field, because that will get guys to want to stay, to want to be a part of it, to want to win.
Great point, C-Doc. Great point. It's bigger than y'all can clown us about the draft picks and all that type of stuff. This is a great point.
We're not clowning you. That's just the facts, bro.
No. I'm saying in relationship to us not being able to be a villain.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, Matt. If you don't care, then you don't have to be here. That don't make sense. It sounds like you're wasting your time listening to us, brother. God bless you for being here and contributing to the numbers. No, I mean, Miami knows what all these teams got to embrace USC used to be built around star power, Hollywood, LA, all that, a good, sexy product. USC knows they got to get back to being sexy, period. That's their identity. Texas knows what they need to do in terms of getting back to being, like, when we grew up, them lines were no joke. We always have big boys. You look at people, you're like, man, that Texas offensive line, that Texas defense, like we know what we got to get back to. Miami, Back when they were rolling, they were the cocaine cowboys. Y'all can laugh, all that, but like we know how that operation was getting funded. Embrace it, Cubano, Tom Herman. Go be full-blown cocaine cowboys down there. If what's the NCAA going to do? What are they going to do? Until they step in, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. So I want to show the pod stuff here real quick. Any comments? Yeah, feel free to chime in on the comments here while I'm pulling this up, y'all.
Matt's been fired up I've been following him pop up. He's been fired up the entire time.
I love it. I love it. All right, can y'all see? This is the baseball one, but I think it's still relevant.
That was the worst emblem for South Carolina, by the way.
I know. I just pulled this off the internet. So
what kind of off-brand internet are you using for all these?
Why is Trent cooking me?
Fucking LSU isn't even like the right colors.
Not even purple. It looks like
Alabama looks like the Angels.
Oh man, why am I getting good?
This isn't yours. I mean, you didn't create this.
Right.
Oh gosh. All right. So let's talk about Pod 4. Somebody Thomas said I didn't even recognize the damn logos.
Is that Missouri?
Yeah, that is their logo, I believe.
For real?
Yeah, on their baseball hat, I think that is their logo.
They need to up their game up.
They gave up. Yeah.
Okay, so these are like what's on the baseball hats.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Somebody, Gabe G said Mizzou is already getting disrespected. You hate to see it. All right. So the question that we had on Spaces last night is, we're going to cut to the chase. Is Texas and Texas A&M going to be in the same pod, yes or no?
They should.
Because I've heard that is not the case, and then that A&M would be in pod 3 and Arkansas would be, or no, where's Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas would flip with A&M, so it'd be OU, Texas, Missouri, Arkansas. What are y'all's?
I'm not a fan of
the Times New Roman M.
That's funny.
Oh man,
this is the most off-brand chart possible. I love it.
I'm just not even a fan of Missouri being in Pod 4. You know, I'd rather it just be Arkansas, A&M, OU, and Texas.
That's what I wanted, Tran.
They're not going to be. They're not going to go with the Mississippi and LSU. That ain't never going to happen. Y'all are going to OU and Missouri and Texas are going probably to be paired together. Highly likely they're not.
Missouri geographically, I think,
right. Exactly.
To OU is part of that.
See, if A&M switches right with Arkansas, y'all would just, what I've read and what I think and see, I would assume, and the way it should be, is if they switch, you always play. So you always play A&M Texas every year, no matter what, even if they're not in your pod, right? You have a common opponent in the SEC. So our common opponent is Florida and Alabama.
Yeah, Florida, yeah, it'd be Florida and Alabama.
Yeah, so like we would only take one of those. So they probably give us Alabama. I don't know, probably, because it's closer. Anyway, maybe it's Florida, but probably Alabama. So like that's what I think would happen. That's just my thoughts, because LSU A&M, the way, they're located fairly close, whatever. I don't know. And maybe it goes back to A&M saying, who knows? By the time we actually get to
out, Billy.
By the time we get to this, hell, we don't know what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Marlon said, "Do not disrespect Times New Roman like that, y'all. Y'all cooking Times New Roman in the chat, bro. So I use that every day. Okay, put some respect on Times New Roman." BA, what's your thoughts here? Do you want to be in the same pod with us or no?
Do I want to? Absolutely. I mean, I love the rivalry. I love being able to play y'all. I love to be able to, hell, let's go to the game. Let's chop it up, instead of, me just going to UT games. Let's go to the game where we're playing against each other. I would love that. But if you're looking at this holistically, it's a business. Geographically, they're going to want to group together things that make sense from a business standpoint. And that's where it gets kind of fuzzy to me. But from a just pure, would I want to play Texas every year? Absolutely. Even if, to Billy's point, if we're not in the same pod, make that one of the, guaranteed SEC scheduled games every year. Make it an early season game before you get into your pod play or your cross pod play. Because I think what was the concept? You play your pod, you play one other pod, and then you have a common opponent or something like that, or another SEC team. So, long story short, absolutely, I would love to play you every year. I want that to be back. Plus, the last time you played us, Tucker making that kick off of less than stellar, quarterback personal foul call. That just want to even get into that, but yeah, I just want to bring it back, man. I want to play it.
You lost your going away game to Case McCoy at home, bro. I mean, that's as down bad as it
Justin
gets.
Tucker's the only kicker or only player I've ever drafted from UTN fantasy football. The dude's got a leg. He made a good kick. We'll leave it at that.
Well, he is the greatest of all time. Field goal kicker, like by actual statistics.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't know he passed more than Anderson. Good for him.
Tucker's a monster.
He is.
So let's go back to the pod thing. So I actually like what you were bringing up, Brandon, is like we play everyone in our pod, which would be pod 4, and then like every other year we'd play all the teams from pod 1. Is that what you were saying?
Right.
As kind of like divisions, like NFL divisions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that same idea.
Well, they would have pod 1 and pod 2 would be the East. Pod 3 and pod 4 would be the West.
Mm-hmm.
That would be your side of the conference. Okay. So, because like in basketball, you obviously would play your pod twice and then the other pod, and then you probably have one from each of the pod 1 or 2 or something like that. However they would do it.
Where it would rotate.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have common opponents in a lot of these areas. So there's going to be they're going to have to look at that, however that works, right? I mean, because there's still some, we've been playing Alabama and Florida for a long time. So if we lose out on that, that's, whatever. And Auburn too. So we'll see.
Thinking about what you're, talking about there, Billy, if we divide these pods in the East and West, I would love it if, the East always plays the East, the West always plays the West. And what we do is we kind of eliminate the out-of-conference schedule. Maybe have 1, maybe 2 out-of-conference games, but other than that, we're playing the West in its entirety and playing one of the pods from the East.
I don't think they get rid of the out-of-conference, but I think that they would have primetime out-of-conferences.
I mean, I'm not saying get rid of them, but limit
9. So I think we're to 9.
Yeah, 9 games, 9 conference games.
Yeah.
Y'all. It's so funny how distracted we get because half the chat is talking about the pods, the other half is talking about Steve made up the logos.
Yeah.
And then we have a smaller group talking about Times New Roman still.
Gotta love it.
Marlon, are you saying this is all trash because you don't want to leave the Big 12, or what's your? Because I know you were. I think you were still wanting to make the Big 12 our own conference. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there you go. He's saying. I mean, he has. I'm not a Texas fan. I'm indifferent either way. I do believe there is substance there.
All right, I'll take the pod.
Oh, also be
y'all.
Hey, I forgot by the time you're done, but App State and Miami are dubs. They have to be. Just in my
Agreed.
Yeah. It's like us beating Florida State. Like it's not a must win, but like it's important for building something. You know, and those 2 games for y'all, like trying to make sure you get to those 9, maybe 10 wins, dubs. You know,
100% agree. 100% agree. I
and
mean,
I think y'all will win.
the
I
thing
think
is, you know, when you're trying to make it to that next level, you win the games you're supposed to win. How often does Bama lose games they're not supposed to win? I mean, that's so. Yes, I agree with you. Those are essentially must wins. But I mean, any given Saturday, I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, again, I already told you what happened with Mississippi State last year, and that still grinds my gears a little bit.
I agree with Dustin's point, which is I'm trying to get to it here because y'all are chatting so fast. Which is true. Shout out to Dustin if I can get it up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean you can still have the pod system. So even if A&M doesn't want to be in the same thing, and still have.
Hey, watch how you framing that now.
I mean, we know it's you and not us.
Oh, really?
I'm not making a backhand comment. This is a front hand comment. I'm being right direct to your face, brother. Y'all don't want to be in the pod with us.
When y'all were barely getting 500, y'all wasn't trying to play us back when Johnny was there. So I don't want to hear it.
It's a new day, brother. We back
exactly.
up.
And we have the number 1 recruiting class. It's a new day.
Start dropping them bags like maniacs. Got them boys over there, man.
Hey, we got them to drop. We gonna drop them.
Do we know publicly one A&M player's NIL deal? Like anything?
No. You know what Bryce Young is making?
I didn't ask about Bryce Young.
I'm saying, why does it matter? If we got ahead of this and we're doing it our way and we're doing it well, why does it matter?
I don't even like how you get to know people's salary anyway. I think it's bullshit.
Right. Never kind of.
I don't care about the salary. I just want to know what they're doing. Like, are they in a commercial? Like, are they
set up a bunch of LLCs and they paid them off? That's what they did. Exactly.
They each have their own shell account.
They did. I mean, that's a fact. You can go find that. That's easy.
Oh man, they don't even got to make an appearance at the car dealership.
Hell no. Here you go, Bob. Here's the check every month.
They don't send checks anymore.
No, you're deposited into your bank account.
Yes, you got a wire transfer. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Don't worry about it. That money's coming consistently the 1st and the 15th, baby. We good.
And maybe even the 13th.
Oh, you need $500? Okay, here you go.
Okay, yeah. No.
Yeah, thanks. Here you go.
Didn't we just transfer over 10,000? Yeah, it's still sitting there, but I just need 500.
Nah, Buddy Garrett. There's a lot of Buddy Garrettys all over college football right now, yo. They running amok. This is Buddy Garrett season right now.
Friday Night Lights
fans.
Friday Night Lights reference.
Yeah, man. We got mailboxes. We got fake addresses. We got all of it, baby. All of it. You know, now we ain't sloppy like Tennessee with the McDonald's bags and just out here in broad daylight.
McDonald's duffel bags hitting the road. Here you go, bro. See you soon.
At least zip the bag up first. Jeez.
I mean, come on. You can't give every recruit that you like, you can't give 10 McDonald's bags. Here you go. The other 10, y'all don't get a bag. Like, I mean, basically people are like, what the hell's going on here? I mean,
them brothers are starving down there in Knoxville, Tennessee. Brothers are thirsty. Starving and they're thirsty. Now, we got Buddy Garrettys all over. They said A&M giving them money in crypto.
Hey, it's undetectable, baby. Can't trace it.
Oh, gosh. I appreciate everybody tuning in. A lot to dissect in the realm of college football, but I know, I promised everybody we would keep this thing under 90 minutes. We're at 1:15.
We need to make sure we don't wait as long next time. This is if we do it an hour and a half, we still have something to talk about we get on here.
Or at least get together like last time. This time right. I won't be late. I don't think I'll have a football game. So
Oh man.
Billy would not let me live that down. Like, Tran's the one who came up with this idea, and he's the late one.
You got this thing organized, and you showed up at 6:15. The game starts at 7, cut. Like, I mean,
I'll be there at 7:15.
yeah, let's go. We'll get down there a little early and walk around. No, it's showing up 30 minutes late for the game.
And then, hey, we got to talk to what bar was that? Like right down the street. Why they closed on a
Schultz
Saturday?
Garden.
Yeah,
Schultz Garden.
Oh, yeah.
All
That was
bars.
big O. That was big
That
O.
was weird. That didn't make no damn sense. I
Schultz
promise you,
Garden didn't want to be great that day.
a bar in Tigerland ain't closed at 10 or 9 o'clock on a Saturday after a game, or at least a scrimmage. I mean, you're gonna get some type of people going.
Same with Northgate.
Yeah.
Are you guys finished or are you done?
I mean, nothing we said was
To be determined. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, we riffing now. So everybody, I appreciate Brandon, Billy, Tran, everybody coming on, supporting just having the conversation. These are some of the funnest things we can do, but also just documenting what's happening in college football and being present, because this is history, and we'll be around, to tell all of our children, all y'all parents now, except for me and BA, but what was happening real time at this point, right? Because it's craziness and it seems to be dropping on a daily basis. So
I
fun
can't
to
wait
fun
till
to
they
take a
can
look.
play high school and elementary kids. I want Jordan to get paid.
Dude, Jordan, you're gonna have to be. Jordan's gonna be listening to pitches in middle school.
I hope so.
What backpack? What backpack?
Man,
What backpack do you want him to wear?
I'm going to be like a Kawhi's uncle. What's Kawhi's
Uncle Dennis.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be ruining
Shrewd
teams.
businessman.
Man, we should have played the tape from this past weekend with Jay Tran hitting the gritty.
Oh yeah, we might want to share that. He did hit it when he got in the end zone.
That wasn't even his best run. The best run was when you broke everyone's ankles on the other team.
Yeah,
that was his best run.
The kid that pulled his flags I've never seen a kid pull his flags from his knees, so kudos to him. But he shook the whole team. It was amazing.
Shout out to Jordan Tran, future NIL superstar.
My boy Pat Rooster said y'all undefeated with the pullout game. Talking about you and BA.
You don't know if he's undefeated though.
That's allegedly.
Allegedly, he's undefeated.
Yeah, quotes allegedly.
Look at that smile. Why is he about to go? Why is he about to turn off his camera?
Bro.
Let me start.
Yo, Pat Rooster, you're a wild boy.
There it is.
Oh man, Pat Rooster.
I do believe though that like people, there is some significance. Like if you look at it financially, like eventually people are like, where is my investment? Like, what am I getting out of my investment? Right. That's going to come up too. Cause like giving a freshman that never does anything, let's say $2 million or whatever, that it's probably not that, but 500,000. Well, eventually people that you don't make money by just giving money away. Okay. So there is some financial thoughts that are coming in, beginning to surface now also.
To Brandon's credit, I think they're already getting ahead of it. I think they're contractualizing everything. Where they're
so play per year, and like you get benefits, I think, based off of your performance, things of that nature. And that's a whole different structure, but not everybody's going to have those capabilities. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, our teams won't have to worry about that. We'll have that. It's like
we're all being good shit. I mean, we'll all have a chance every year. So
sorry, Jimmy Johnson. You're out.
Yeah.
All right, BA. Now we're jumping off here. BA, appreciate you.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap here with the BOSR stuff. I'll answer Matt's question real quick, and then we'll jump off because.
Yes, they are, Matt. I've heard that 3 times. 100%.
Haven't they always gotten criticized? I mean, I remember the Auburn kicker or whoever it was I think it was the Auburn kicker a few years ago. Like they literally like death threats when he missed the kick.
Yeah.
Or like they've always been criticized crazy. So
But
I don't
I
think
get what he's saying. He's a lot of people.
is it more? Does it intensify?
Yeah, like, and then a lot of people would be like, "Oh, they're they're just kids. They're playing for the school." But then now it's like, they can get money there, So whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
What's up, Horns Behind Enemy Lines? Y'all go and subscribe to his channel. He's doing great work over there, and he's holding it down in that wild land over in Oklahoma. I don't know how he does it. He's a better man than me, but makes great content. Saw Texas Homer, Nash talks Texas in here, Lando, Nino's Corner, who Kieran, all the whole crew was in here tonight. So appreciate everybody tuning in. I think we actually will be back sooner than later. I think we should be doing more of these
once a month. I'm like,
yeah, because there's so much happening right now, and I enjoy getting your perspective, Billy, on a different side of the train tracks, and I know Tran and I really appreciate it. So we should definitely be.
I appreciate it too. It's fun, and that's you get to hear different perspectives that respect the perspective, and that's the key. We don't really have an agenda, right? Like obviously we want our teams to win. That's our agenda. That's all we care about. So that's a good thing. And you got to be honest. I think that's a problem in just sports in general. Nobody really wants to say, "Hey, no, you can't do that," or "Yeah, that's fine." Like, and we do. So there's something genuine about that.
Yeah, I think that's why we all get along too. Is like if we just want to see good football played, like, and that unfortunately for Texas, we haven't seen it for a while. But I do think that it's right around the corner. I think it may not be this year that we're back to 10 wins or anything like that, but we're on the right track, I think.
Yeah, I mean, next year, if I was y'all, I would sign like 15 D linemen and O linemen.
We signed that this year.
I know, sign it.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep it going. Yeah.
That's what Brian Kelly and his staff are talking about. Like, hey, we have to have, whatever, 5 offensive linemen a year and 4 defensive line. Like, you got to load. So.
All right. Well, hit up busr.com/fanatic. I know Mavs Suns has tipped off now. So we're going to go check that out. Tran, you put the money on Luka for triple-double?
Yeah, I got Phoenix winning tonight in my parlay, the 2-game parlay, and then I just put money on for Luka hitting a triple-double.
Miami already take care of business?
Yeah.
Tran, you've been hot lately, man. Keep it up. But busr.com/fanatic, great customer service, awesome partner, and just fantastic at player props, different things you can do. You can get that more fantasy feel if you don't feel great about betting games outright or things of that sort. There's something for everybody here as well. Marlon, it's always good to see you in here in the chat, brother. Shouting you out for sure. Tully be chilling. I see Trey in here, and Ben, I appreciate this comment. We've been working hard, man, trying to give the people what they want. Twitter Space has been great. YouTube, I appreciate it, man. We're gonna keep it up, and keep giving y'all what y'all want. As long as y'all keep supporting what y'all are doing, hitting that like button, subscribing. Many of you guys are sharing the content with your friends. Also, follow me on TikTok. We got a TikTok account. We try and grow the TikTok platform too. So follow me on TikTok @Fanatic Perspective. Appreciate you guys, Billy, Tran. Thank y'all so very much.
Thank you, man. Thanks for
setting us up. Always up.
Go Tigers.